Hello, this is a quick overview of the features of CORPO theme for MODX by ThemesMODX. As you can see, CORPO is a nice, clean, flat designed website with a responsive slider that features images as a background, optional content fields with an optional background color. You can either position it to the right, to the left, you can center it, you can make it wide or full width, narrow, or you can remove it and just have text over your background. So it's a very flexible slider, and the content is simply HTML. You can add your own buttons, add your own headers, content fields, even links are possible. If you narrow the screen and reload, this is like the mobile view, maybe for an iPhone. You can see that it adjusts. The buttons are different, the alignment, and the text is not over the image anymore. It will be below the image, so it will always be visible and work. So that works nicely. Okay, let's go back to the normal view and refresh. Another feature of the homepage of CORPO is a fixed page navigation. These are the sub-navigations, the elements on the page, and if you click on it, it will scroll smoothly to that section. If you scroll yourself, it will detect where you are and will trigger the correct item at a certain point. So, what elements do we have? We have a main features section. This is a free column. These are font awesome icons, and you can style them with CSS. I added a white background and a border and a color. You can add any content you want, you can add buttons. The next section is a section with an image on the left and content on the right with a title. Below it is a nice parallax background section, so you can choose your image and it will be parallax, which means that it looks like it's fixed on the background and the content scrolls over it. Again, you can add any content you want here, it's just rich text field. Another one is the same as the amazing design section, but with the image on the right. Same options. This is a nice quote section, so you can add some quotes or maybe some screenshots, some other text that you want to put in a slider. It's responsive as well. You can change the background color to anything you like. So, image gallery, portfolio I call it, but you can call it whatever you want, of course. There's a nice hover effect. If you and on a mobile tablet, if you tap it once, it will open this field and you can click again to view the image. The image has a description, they're responsive. Any image you upload will be resized automatically to the correct size. And if you scroll, if you make the window narrow, it will detect the size and adjust the grid. So now it's 3 images next to each other, and if it gets really narrow, there will be 2 images next to each other, as you can see. So, let's go up again. You need to refresh. If you resize the screen, you need to refresh to reset some settings, but that's not really an issue. Okay, next one is a Buy Now section. It's actually just a call to action section with a button, an optional tagline and a subline, or you can add other content here. And our team section, some images of people. They're touch activated, so you can scroll through them. They have some optional fields here, you can add it if you want to. And again, this is responsive, so if it's a narrow screen, let's refresh. There's just one person here and you scroll through them like that on your mobile. So, finally, let's check out the footer on the home page. The footer is a nice automatically generated overview of your pages. Some optional mobile links you can add from the Backend manager. News that's automatically generated. The last 3 news articles will be visible here. An optional about section with just some general content. A copyright text if you need it or something else. And a search for your site. So, you can also, of course, add other pages. So I added a features page here. The features page is just a general page with elements on it, so This is just an example of how you could create your content, and I used this page to display some of the features of this theme, so please have a look at it. About Google Analytics, gradient lines, Google Map, well, there's a lot of it. I also added like a lightbox here. This is easy to do with a shortcut. Okay, next one is an elements page. It's actually the same system as the home, but without the slider. So again, you have like a fixed nav page element, and any element is simply a sub-element of the page. So I can show you on the back end right now, or in a moment. Next is an about page. This is just a generic page again with an optional sidebar. So you can see here the sidebar, and this I just put some generic content here to display. You can have a button full width, or a line to the left, a line to the right. All kinds of list types look nice. Form fields, of course. You can have buttons, radio buttons. They all work. So if that's in your content, it's fine to work with. Tables work. Quote, you can have it. Okay. Another one is news. These will be visible in the footer as well, the latest articles. As you can see, you can have an image in your news, or non-image if you want. It's really clean, there's just a date here, and if you click on read more or on the title, you will open the article, of course. After a nice loading effect, there's a back button to the overview, and I added comments here using discuss. This is optional again, really easy to set up for you. The image is also again resized automatically for you, so that's very easy. And finally we have a contact page. The contact page has a nice form with some validation. It will check if the fields are set. There's some nice anti-spam settings as well. You need to do a simple calculation. And of course there's a Google Map. You can really easily in the backend enter your location, and it will generate the map for you and add your street, of course. So that's the front end of CORPO. Let's show you the backend. This is the backend for CORPO. This is the latest MODX version, 2.3.1 at this time. Here are the pages. As you can see, the home page and the elements page have these sub-elements, sub-pages. And these are the same as each element right here. So there's a 30-day trial, an easy to use, and a quotes. Well, you can see it here. And you can actually just drag and drop them, and they will be reordered on the front end. So it's as simple as that. Quotes is now in front of that. So there's really nothing to it to edit your site. Let's put it back. You can, in the left bar, you can see all your pages. You can, of course, close and open them, sub-pages. There's some pages here that are not a little bit grayed out. These are not visible in the navigation because they don't need to be. They're like an error page, the search results page, and a sitemap, which is automatically generated. Okay, if you click on a page, let's take home, you will open it. And here you can edit your page. There are all kinds of general settings with nice descriptions. If you scroll down, there's a content field, but this one is actually not used on the home page. This one is important, the template variables tab. Here you see all the options for each page, and these are dependent on the template you choose. So here you can see I use the home page template, and if I choose a home page template, I get these options. I can disable the image slider. You can edit the image slider, of course, change the order. You can just drag and drop them if you want. It's really easy. Right click to edit, and here you see all the fields. You can upload a different image, change some content, and this is the content of the slide. And as you can see, it's like Word. You can just type anything you want there. There are other options, social media options. You can change the social image. And a sub-nav, display the sticky page navigation. That's this bar here. You can actually disable that to have a normal basic site that's just just a page with elements below it without this navigation, as you can see. So it's really flexible. Okay, so every page has these kind of options, and the sub-elements work kind of the same way. You click on it. Again, the same thing, fields. You have template variables for all the elements dependent on the template. And the only difference is that sub-pages that are elements or sections need a template with section in front of it. So it's really easy, and here are all the options. Centered content, a section with an image background, an image with a gallery with quotes. Well, you can try them, and dependent on which one you choose, you will get different options and it will look different on the front end. So that's how you change those elements. For the rest, it all works the same way. Contact is very easy to edit. Here's your content page with the content in it. And under template variables again is the email address for the form, the thank you message that should be displayed when people send it. Here's the Google Map, the code. You can just go to Google Maps and get your code. You can disable the map if you want to. You can even add some subsections here. And the optional sidebar, if you leave it blank, it won't be there, simply as that. Okay, so finally I'd like to show you some page configurations. Here are all the general settings for the site. You can choose a font, you can choose your colors for every element. You can change a lot of elements, but the basic rule, if you keep to these colors or change your main color, like from blue to red, you will get a nice new theme. You can adjust it to your house style. The slider options, this determines how opaque this background is. So if you make this 1, it will be not transparent at all. How high it should be from the top at certain points. The footer, this is the content for the footer. The titles for each footer title. So if you scroll down here, these titles here, you can simply add them, change them here. The copyright text, and you can add a border or not if you want. These are the blog settings. This is to add discuss to your site. Simply add your name. And the ID of the page. This is kind of important, otherwise the latest news won't work in the footer. So the page ID is simply the number behind the news, and in my case it's 41. This will change probably on your system depending on how the install goes. Site settings, your main logo, the name of your website, what's your language, and any custom CSS you might like to add. Some SEO settings, you can add your Google Analytics and it will be activated for you. So just sign up for Google Analytics and get your code in there. Some social media settings, you can add a Twitter link name or an icon. Here I use the shortcut for an icon, as you can see here, so it will generate this icon here, but you don't really need that. And search is the text for the search bar, right there. So, that's a quick overview of CORPO theme for MODX. I hope you like it. It's available on ThemesMODX.com right now.